All right, guys, we're here today again with the jiu-jitsu therapist, Eugene. One of the questions, I just put out a video on tips and tricks to maximize your chest day. International Chest Day is Monday. And then this past week, we had a 1 rep max chest. I got up to 365. And one of the questions that came on the bench press was what I do for my active warm-up on a bench press. As far as rounds and reps goes, guys, that's irrelevant. You do what you need to do till you feel warm and active to work up. And, some people are good to go in 1 round. It has a lot to do with how much you did the day before, nutrition, sleep, ate. There's so many different deciding factors. So I just do as many of these rounds of it as I need till I feel I'm ready to actively lift. So the first exercise I use before we actually go into bench press, guys, is some band pull aparts. This is to really get a good feel of what it's like to pull my shoulder blades and scapula back and down by using some bands for some decentric and eccentric loading.
You can look here, you can kind of see how he's squeezing. My fingers are on his shoulder blades. You can see how he's squeezing those shoulder blades together, activating. So that's important. Again, seating that shoulder in the capsule, getting all those muscles engaged, taking the tension out before you bench press.
This next one is one that I just like to add. Everybody has their own ritualistic warm-ups and then warm up the exercise. If this works for me, it may not work for everybody. This one I like to use. It's just a close grip push-up. When you're bench pressing, you have to have constant control of the bar. You can't just let it fall and try to bounce it up. So I try to simulate that while I'm doing the push-ups because I use almost a close grip when I do bench press. So it's slow and controlled down as if I'm dropping a bar and I burst up, okay?
Again, same concept. Joe's gonna take all the tension out, screw everything in, good position. And again, he's got good control, good tension everywhere. Not letting the shoulders round, which is important. He's doing a really great job keeping a nice good core as well. The main thing you're doing a great job of there is you're not allowing those shoulder blades to round, to protract.
Because if they are,
keeping them retracted.
That goes back to what we was talking about, that bench where guys will go from this extended position. If your shoulder's round, now you're in this broken position.
And there's a lot
more. You can't bench press in this position. So we'll show you the shoulder retraction in a minute, but if you look at me when I do bench press, and again, I'll tag the other video I did on how to do a proper bench press, guys, is I will use the bar for leverage, right? Once I get under the bar, I use the bar for leverage to pull myself up and push my scapula back onto this mat, okay? I'm not laying collapsed. I'm extended with my shoulder blade back all the way into the housing unit, and it's nice and stable against this mat. Eugene can take his hand and run it under my back all the way to the other side because there's that much space. That gives me a tight core. Everything's locked in place. And you'll see this same lineup and positioning right here in a minute when we move over to the bar. So we got our bar, guys. We're getting ready to do some shoulder blade retractions. As far as your hand placement goes on the bar, we want to grab in the same grip you use for your bench press. Now, as far as to activate your shoulders, you can't use this loose fingertip grip like this. If you notice on here, make sure that your pinky knuckle right here is at least over top of the bar. Okay, so what we're going to do is once I'm in this position, guys, you'll see me rotate back, put my scapula in position, and arch my chest to where I have that same stabilization movement and look like I did on the bench.
So what Joe is doing, he's taking his shoulder blades, he's pushing them kind of down and into his back pockets almost. He's seating that shoulder blade, which in turn is going to stabilize the shoulder itself and allow him a stable base to push from. So come on back here, Ron. So if we look from the back, he's engaging mid-trap, rhomboid muscles, lower traps. He's just getting these muscles to engage those shoulder blades and seat them into position, which again gives him that stable base to push from.
This is just one of the warm-ups I use, guys. I'll do the banded pull-aparts first, then I do the push-ups, and then I do the shoulder retractions. I do 10 to 15 band pull-aparts, 10 to 15 push-ups, and shoulder retractions is not to failure, but almost to like, I could probably hang for another 10 to 15 seconds and then I'll drop. And I'll do usually 3 to 4 rounds of that. Unless I feel good at one, I'm just gonna go at one. If I feel like I need more, I'll just keep going until I'm ready. I prefer more dynamic warm-ups. Like me and Eugene have a lot of conversations and we can butt heads on a lot of things, but the one thing we firmly agree on is dynamic warm-ups versus just stretching. Stretching to me is a recovery, injury prevention when you're already like there, but not pre-workout, spending a lot of time stretching.
And the one thing I want to talk about, your warm-up, there's plenty of great warm-ups. This is just Joe's type of warm-up, but he's hitting the muscle groups that are the agonists or the prime movers, and also some that aren't prime movers, some that are maybe stabilizing muscles. So he's hitting the front, the back, he's hitting some of the accessory muscle groups as well, which is really important to get a really good, complete warm-up.
Like, I'm getting ready to do some bench press right now, actually. That's one reason we want to go ahead and do this video. So I appreciate your question on what I do for my warm-up. I appreciate Eugene for taking the time to, he's this guy I use guys for any type of things I need better explanations on. I thought it'd be a fun video. Me and him haven't done one in a while together. Make sure you check out his channel for all those jiu-jitsu guys that follow our strength training, jujitsutherapist.com. I'll even tag his channel below in case you guys want to see any of the other warm-ups, injury prevention, recovery. It's a great resource of information for the gym. We all use the shit out of him. But thanks guys, and we'll see you in the gym.